We recording?
Yeah. We're rolling.
Last bites.
It's the after show. Hosted by Chris Hardwick.
Last bites. What happened on Blabberats this week at Last Bites? Right.
That's the pod within a pod, because that's what this needs.
Yeah, totally. Like Twin Peaks has that show.
Yep.
And 90210 has that show.
Do they really?
Yep. And the OC has that show.
Oh, that's true. I remember that.
Welcome to Blabberats. Welcome to Blabberats, the show where we play recordings of broadcasters who were the subjects of government experiments. I'm your host, and I like sports. I'm not afraid to admit it. Seems in today's hot topic cultural climate, people can admit to liking things like foosball and water chess. Well, to me, sports play a role in my life every day. Because when I get the newspaper, I'm only reading the sports page. I like doing sports things, like mountain climbing and chasing goats. I like eating sports drinks and drinking sports water, and hooping up with my 3v3 team, the Little Big Pups. Sports are life. Blood, sweat, sports. I sweat sports and blood for sports. No blood for sports and no sports for oil. And that's what sports means to me. You know who said that? Martin Luther King Sr.
Sports, powerful stuff.
Sports are kind of like my Bible, and my Torah, and my Koran.
Koran's a good one. People don't talk about the Koran enough.
Gotta read my Koran that.
Children of the Koran.
Aren't we all? I mean, we're all God's people.
All God's children.
And with that, let's say big up to Small Talk. Now, producer, a.k.a. Deucer, let me ask you, you a sports guy?
Maybe not an all-around sports guy, but I got my sports. I like a sport or two.
What was the last sport you did?
High-lie. Been playing high-lie for a good part of my life. Grew up on the high-lie courts of Southwest Florida.
Now, what's your favorite part of highlight? Is it the throwing or the catching?
I love this. I love when you scoop it on the fly.
The scooping.
I love that anytime you're scooping, there's a scooping motion. I'm pretty enthralled with it.
The only true sport to appreciate scooping.
Yeah, it is the ice cream parlor owner's favorite sport. I also like basketball is the mainstream sport I follow, other than highlight, which to me is a mainstream sport.
Now, are you a fan of Curtis Blow, as it were?
I am, yeah.
What do you prefer, the song or the sport?
God, that is a tough call. I have to choose one. I can't have one. I can't have both.
You can only have one in this scenario, in this dystopian scenario.
If I don't get the song Basketball, can I still have all the other Curtis Blow hits that I know and love?
Yes.
Okay, so I can still have these. Then I'm going to keep Basketball.
Well, I forgot to mention
No.
that if you don't keep Basketball by Curtis Blow, his career will not necessarily go in the same trajectory that it would have were the song Basketball still in his arsenal.
Okay, so you're saying
number one hit in all the NBA stadiums, and as soon as it came out.
So you're saying it alters.
We never know what would happen if the song Basketball didn't exist.
So you're saying it does alter the timeline and potentially he isn't the big hit, and like
That's
I don't
correct.
hear of the song "These Are the Breaks," and it's not.
Maybe it's called "These Are the Basketballs."
Yeah,
You never know.
I don't
'cause
know
he's
that-
probably. You never know what it would do to a man's psyche to suppress a creative impulse like writing a song about basketball to an artist like him.
but I think maybe "These Are the Breaks" came out before basketball.
Well, maybe basketball was percolating around, led to "These Are the Breaks," and then
These Are the
he's
Breaks.
Like, you know, "These Are the Breaks" are so good. Now I can finally. I was a big
Finish.
hit. Now I can finally write about something.
He
that
was
I
in the
wanna
mid.
write
He
about,
was
you
in
know
the
what I mean?
middle. He was in the middle
So
of. He was in the middle of his masterpiece, basketball, and like all great artists, maybe ran into a brain freeze or a brain
Yeah.
block, and you know what they tell you to do if you hit a roadblock, just try something else for a little while, just like rest on it. And so he went and he did "These Are the Breaks" because he was like, I can't finish this song about basketball. Oh, these are the breaks, I guess, and that.
Yeah.
So
That's
he
right.
followed that thread, banged that 9-minute classic out in 5 minutes, believe it or not.
Yeah. Wow.
Do the math on that. That's how good he is.
He doubled time.
And then doubled back to finish basketball.
The first chopped and screwed song ever.
That's incredible.
What
Are
else
you
in the history
now?
of-
Now, host, are you a sports? What's your sport of choice?
I like badminton and Fortnite and GTA 3, 4, but not 5. And I also love to play
You're an esports guy.
racquetball. It's a combination of racquetball and basketball. You play on a racquetball court, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. You use a basketball.
That sounds like a sport. Do you scoop it ever with the racket? Is there any scoop motions in
Scoops
it?
are illegal. You got to hit it with the side of the racket.
Oh boy, that seems like it could be dangerous. Like a foul
Yeah.
could go.
I don't know. I used to like the concept. Now I'm starting to not like it. This is getting over.
Yeah.
Basketball is it's just you play racquetball with a basketball instead of a racquetball.
Oh, got it. So
and
you
then,
don't.
And then that's the first part, and then the second part is you go and play basketball with a racquetball.
That I could get behind. That sounds like a pretty fun time.
No
Lot of regions.
Just baskets.
Oh, just baskets.
dribbling allowed.
Yeah, I mean,
Dribbling would
you
make it more
have to
fun.
dribble. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
only way to
dribbling, you
play.
actually have to dribble. If you touch the basketball, you have to dribble.
Yeah, it's a mandatory dribble. You can't even. Yeah. You know.
Dribblers, basketball, dribblers wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's their
Dribblers.
slogan.
Dribblers only.
Adult dribblers only.
Oh boy.
Yeah, dribbler.
National Dribblers.
Why does dribbler sound so dirty?
The National Dribblers Association.
National Association for the Defense of Dribblers.
Yeah. We are not dribbling what people think we're dribbling.
Dribble on.
Dribble on.
Dribble, dribble, dribble. Okay.
That was actually one of the original lines that started basketball. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Here we go.
Dribble, dribble, dribble. I've got my flow.
I like to dribble. I like to rhyme. Look out, y'all. It's basketball time. Uh-huh.
And
then, you know, Curtis Blow.
Down, down, down.
Curtis Blow played all those like steel drums and shit on his albums too. You know how they'd be like dun 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 dun, like the steel drum solos and shit.
Yeah.
That was all him.
Really?
Yeah. The Blow Man.
A man of many talents, blow by blow.
Just so you know. Of course, Curtis Blow leads us to today's topic of sports.
Elaborate sports.
Elaborate Sports Drive.
And that's what we're talking about today on today's Blab Rats episode.
Yes, sports, but we've got our own Blab Rats angle on it, right? It's not going to be exactly what you expect because this government experience can be extra fucked up because it involves the sports world.
Yeah, a lot of conspiracy talk in the sports world, and so we'll probably give you this real life slice of it right now, and then talk about what you think after the drop.
It sounds. I can't wait to hear this one. I love sports.
Let's hope it's a hole in one.
Roll them tapes.
Roll them tapes, baby.
Now roll them tapes, baby.
Rolling them tapes now. The Blab Rats trying to catch the government being dirty. Catch the government being dirty. Catch the government being dirty.
These broadcasters have no memories of the words they read.
Hi, thank you for tuning in to WSNX Snakesville Local News. I'm Bob Torino. I'm a little stuffed up this evening.
And I'm Yeppe Fuckwall, and this is
What's happening tonight? The Snakesville Ice Sliders are going to the state finals. Things are heating up for this year's Summerfest. And later, we've got some good news if you're a weather hater, as we have some terrible weather coming this way, approaching with potentially devastating results, maybe in your area. But first, we start on a somber note, as today marks the 1-year anniversary of the Snakesville Mall and Equestrian Center and Megaplex Superfire Brawl at the mall, too.
Boy, Bob, it sure is crazy that it's already been a whole year since the brawl at the mall, too.
So true, Yuppie, and for some, the effects are still a part of everyday life.
Tonight, we look at the consequences of that fateful night and how it shaped the life in Snakesville since.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Yuppie, but producers are telling me we have a breaking news story developing at Texas Football Team Stadium. We go now to Hoop DeVille, who is live on the scene. Hoop!
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Yuppie. I'm here outside the Texas football team's briefing room where we are expecting an announcement from team owner Vance DeFrance, the eccentric owner who many of you recall refused to change the team's offensive name. Even amidst outcry from many fans and advocacy groups, DeFrance refused to change the team's name. That was until the close of last season when National Football League football president Blumpkins gave the order that the name must go. Here's an excerpt from the Texas press conference that followed.
Okay, so we all know why we are here, so let's get right to it. The league told me today, in no uncertain terms, the executioners were getting the chair, as it were. So from this day forward, by decree of the league and its mighty board, we will be known as the Texas football team. Any questions?
Mr. DeFrance, Mr. DeFrance.
Yes, you.
DeFrance.
Yeah, I mean, this has been, a lot of people have been talking about this for years. I mean, are you surprised that the board came down with this decision? Or were you expecting this?
I wish I could say I was surprised. This, unfortunately, is just another domino in the ongoing assault on Texas white Christians and our way of life. They don't like the death penalty. They don't like that we celebrate it here. They, frankly, feeling quite marginalized and a little triggered by this really, you could almost call it racist attack on my Texan heritage.
Mr. DeFrance, Mr. DeFrance.
Coach DeFrance.
You in the fedora.
Charles Schultz, Penis Gazette.
Yes, Charles, your question.
Have you seen today's Doonesbury, and what did you think about the commentary it was making about your current situation? And how did Gary Trudeau have preemptive knowledge of this here press conference before it was happening? Are you friends with the author and hilarious cartoonist of Doonesbury?
I am not. I don't find Doonesbury very funny. I don't read it. I find it offensive. I don't think there has ever been a more cold-blooded cartoon in the history of the funny papers, and I take offense. I'm launching an investigation into how this cartoon was made in such a timely manner as to coincide with the change of the Football League.
Yes.
Mr.
Follow-up
DeFrance,
question,
Mr.
Coach
DeFrance.
DeVance.
Yes, you in the fedora again.
Coach Vance DeVance.
Yes.
Defense. Do you like cartoons?
I love cartoons, except ones that personally criticize me. Nobody wants to pick up a funny page like I do every Sunday, and like I do every Sunday, and see a cartoon personally insulting you. Can you imagine?
Well, wouldn't you also agree then that the mascot is the cartoon of the sports world?
Are you talking about Switchy?
What's happening to Switchy? We have to know.
Switchy will maybe have a change of name. We'll figure out. I mean, it would be a tragedy.
What? We can't stand for this. Even us in the peanut gallery.
Mr. DeFrance, Mr.
Coach
DeFrance. What,
Yes.
What'll happen after they score a touchdown if Switchy's not there to flip the switch and zap our competition?
We all love the team mascot who, as you know, after a touchdown or a particularly brutal hospitalizing tackle, we flip the switch and like in a typical execution here in Texas, the lights flicker on and off and the crowd cheers just like when an inmate's put to death. And we will find a home for Switchy, whether that means he's now just Switchy the light switch chair, and we're flipping the lights on and off to celebrate a great victory, like a birthday party for a 2-year-old, or, whatever. We will reintegrate him. We will not lose our beloved mascot because of some sort of racist, bigoted mob of non-white people or just white people who disagree with us.
Mr.
Switchy
DeFrance,
will always have a home.
Coach
Mr. DeFrance.
Yes.
Craig Terry from the Athletics Illustrations.
I like your publication.
How do you think this is gonna? Thank you, sir. How do you think this is gonna, Coach, affect the team once they hit the field out there? I mean, is this gonna make playing football harder for them? Is this gonna be another layer for them to have to try to get through just to get through the game, or you think when it comes time they're gonna just get to business?
They will always get to business, but I am not gonna lie. It will demoralize and deflate and really just make them probably real sad when they go out there and try to throw the ball around, when they do their huts and then they spike the ball to the other player, and then he goes, "Go long," he yells. It'll just make it really hard when he winds back and he's pointing to the guy and then he cranks the ball.
One of the best parts of your quarterback is that he always points to who he's passing to as he's passing to them, right?
Yeah, that way they know that's coming to me. There's no mistaking. We don't get two of the same guys running at the ball. It just makes things clean.
Is it true that's a move he got from Babe Ruth?
You know what? You'd have to ask him too. But my thought is yes. He did love Babe Ruth. He does love out of shape old white men. Yes.
Well, then you're sitting pretty.
Yes, that is why he and I have had a great rapport.
This is Nancy Quadrango from Ding Dang News, and
Hello,
I was just
Nancy.
wondering, pivoting from the team name change, I just want to talk to you. I want to ask you a few more questions about some of the strategic decisions you made in last week's game.
Strategery. We were all about the strategery. Yes, please go ahead.
Why did you go with a nickel package in a goal line situation?
Nickel package was my nickname in high school, and I just always really liked to use that move because it reminds me of the good old days. The ladies used to call me that.
Now that you've explained it, it makes total sense. Just one more
Why
question.
do they call you that? Because you're a hard five?
I don't know what that means. It's
R5, thick as a nickel.
they always said when I wore my tight little swim trunks that it looked like I had a bankroll of nickels in my pocket.
Heavy.
Yeah. Let me know what you're doing later, Nancy.
That's a heavy bag. Okay, just one more question. Why did you punt on second down?
I don't. Is that what does that even mean? I always punt on second down. Well, you don't punt on second down? I thought that was a typical second down move. Was punting. I do it to psych out the opponent. It's like a battle cry, like the old Apache warriors used to wear Victorian dresses with parasols when they stormed the battlefield. When they stormed the battlefield, and the cowboys, even though they were brave and white, would cower in fear at the unholy terror of these warriors dressed as
Cower
women.
boys.
And they are cower boys. And that is what the punt is. It is our equivalent of a Victorian gown.
I see. It's wearing the heritage of another sport.
Have you
On
ever
second
read?
down, it's an honor.
Have you ever read Sun Tzu? It doesn't sound like it from the way you talk, but Sun
I
Tzu.
haven't read Sun Tzu, but I have read Suit.
Zoot Suit. I'm not.
I've listened to Cherry Papa Daddy's Zoot Suit Riot. He's my boyfriend.
And from that day forth, the Texas Executioners were no more. Vance had rebranded the team as the Texas football team in a move that some found petulant and passive-aggressive. Many speculate that today's press conference will be the unveiling of the team's permanent new name, mascot, and logo. We'll be here all day waiting on the momentous announcement. But for the moment, that's all for me, Hoop DeVille. Now back to Yuppie and Bop in the studio.
Gee, thanks, Hoop. Boy, I am sure gonna have a hard time concentrating on all this news, just wondering what that football team's gonna be called. Huh?
No, me too, Yuppie. I hope it's something like the Point Getters.
Well, all right then, Bob. It's hard to believe that this day and age a person in the Snakesville area wouldn't have snake guards at the bottom of their doors, but that was just the case for one such Snakesville area resident.
That's right. Tammy Hugglesworth of the Snake Pit Riverside Hugglesworth came home from her job at Horse Nike to find her home chock full of snakes. But it wasn't always that way. When she had left for work that morning, the house was snake-free. So how did one woman's house go from having no snakes in it to having a bunch of snakes in it? The answer might shock you.
And that answer is snake guards. Those little rubber gaskets that we all have at the bottom of our doors to keep the snakes out. Her home hadn't had any since the day she moved in.
Hugglesworth is pressing charges against her landlord, claiming the onus was on them to fit the doors with the proper snake protective gear. And the cost of the snake removal should also be covered by Snakesville Leasing, Renting, and Snake Removal, who owns the building.
Well, I sure hope she wins that case, Bob. Well, we got to take a break for commercial, but when we come back, news on the new obelisk monument, the race for president of Snakesville Animal Control heats up, the human parrot that is taking the Chimera world by storm, and those little buttons in the middle of doorknobs. What are they for? That and more after these messages.
They laughed when I told them my dream. They said it couldn't be done.
You can't do it, loser.
They said money couldn't buy my way into owning an NBA franchise.
You really think you could buy your way into owning an NBA franchise? Yeah, right. What a freaking idiot.
Ka-ching
They
noise.
said that some dreams weren't meant to be realized.
Ain't no coach ever gonna be no owners. The Last Owner Coach, only on TNBST, Thursday morning at 3:19.
Clap your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes. 'Cause we blab brats and these are the facts, and this is a break. Hi, my name is Blabratstrop. Dropping all the crazy Blabrats facts fit to drop in your ear. It's the Blabrats.
You can chew gum and listen to Blab Rats at the same time. Prove the haters wrong.
Watch your step and picture me rolling. Blabratstrop. back to the broadcast.
Welcome back to WSNX Snakesville Local News, and this is What's Happening Tonight? And if you didn't know, those little buttons in the middle of those doorknobs are actually locks. And now you know.
Oh, well, you learn something new every day, huh, Bob? Well, the obelisk monument is back in the news again as parties battle over the location for the proposed monument.
The monument, of course, is to be a life-size replica of the obelisk designed by famous statue artist Spanksy.
Oh, Bob, I hate to interrupt you here, but it sounds like we're going to have to go to Hoop at the Texas football team news conference because it sounds like it's about to begin.
Oh, goody.
That's right, Yuppie. Vance DeFrance is making his way to the podium. Let's see what he has to say.
Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have an announcement. Because of what it does to me when I hear the word, because of how it makes me feel, because of the cruelty and the oppression and the racism and bigotry of non-white Christians who made us change the name of the executioners. There are our beloved Texas history on display there was wiped out, and because we were called the Texas football team, every time I hear that, I cannot stand it. It draws me to a negative place, and as a result, I am hereby banning all players, staff, crew, attendees, Gatorade, tub fillers, lawn mowers, whatever have you, from using the F word. I think we all know what it is. It rhymes with football in any capacity, as it has now become a offensive word, one that deeply, deeply hurts me down in my soul. And from this day forward, we shall forever be the Texas sports team and not the Texas F word team.
Mr. DeFrance,
Coach.
Yes. You with the glasses.
Good thing I wore my fakes. It always gets me the first question. These are
tricky.
real. Gotcha. Say it's me, Tommy Gazebo from PSPN. I was just wondering, what the heck are you talking about, F word?
I think you know what I mean, Tommy. Don't try to trick me into saying it. Don't you fucking say it.
What do they call soccer in Europe?
I believe it's called rugby, Tommy.
Nope.
Anyways, you, the bald guy with the ponytail.
Yeah, pretty spot on. Listen, is the triggering nature of the word football have anything to do with your zero?
Was I not clear?
With your 0-69 record last year, your losing record of 0-69.
Frankly, yes. Going out there, not being the executioners, not getting to dance on the graves of our fallen enemies with the lights flickering after we crush them and break their spines. It has drained all the fun and the love I had for this once great game, and that is why we are 0-69. Yeah.
Coach, over here.
With the tongue ring.
This is Craig Fiddleston for the MTV Sports News. It was why I got a tongue ring, obviously, which all adds up now. And my questions to you is about how you know. The balls themselves say the word on them, and every other team you're playing against, and their branding and marketing that they're going to want to sell in your stores says the word on them, says the F word. The F word is pretty ubiquitous throughout the league. F words getting tossed around everywhere. How do you see you being able to enforce this sort of rule in regards to the other teams and organizations, etc.?
I have personally put forward $5 million, which will be matched by the NFL, to have the F word, as you say, sanded off of each of the football.
Yes.
You.
Do you need someone to do your sanding?
We are currently taking bids, yes.
Okay, I'll talk to you after the conference. Thank you.
Sounds good. Yes, yes. Take my business card. Frankly, there's maybe 1 point, 2 points in the game at which a foot actually touches a ball. It's not foot field, foot grass. It's should have, if anything, be called handball or arm ball or body slam, spine hug and run, body tackle, tackle ball. I mean, good lord. At what point? I mean, yes, okay. You need feet to run. You need feet to stand. You need feet to put them wide and throw the ball between them to the guy that's standing behind you waiting to catch it. You need feet for all those things, but you also need feet to go to the ice cream store and feet to get on a treadmill. You don't call it foot treadmill or foot cream. That's just not how it works.
Sir, this is Kadri Michaels from the Pro Life Sportscast, and have you ever considered the possibility that maybe football is named after the measurement rather than the part of the body?
You did that fucking thing's not a foot long. Are you telling me? That's what you're
How
telling
long
me?
how long is the ball itself, sir?
If you go by eyeball, I'd say that ball's not. It's not more than 4 inches long. I mean, foot? Are you kidding me?
Sir,
Yes.
I'm right.
Coach,
Coach,
Devaney-
where'd you get your cologne? You smell delicious.
Thank you. It
What are you wearing?
it's
Scent-wise.
Baskin Robbins 51.
51?
Yeah. So I got it at TJ Maxx for $3.99 a
Alright.
bottle.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, do you worry that this? I didn't even give you a chance to call me because I just know this question's so good. Do you worry that this is going to add like another layer of difficulty for your players to get over and getting their first W in a season here?
I'll be honest, I could give a fuck about winning at this point. I just cannot show up. I cannot show up to work every day and be haunted by this relic of bigotry, something that's so antiquated, something we should have moved past ages ago.
Coach.
Yes, you.
You're. This is Jim Johnfrey from AARP magazine. Why not retire?
I like your reporting, Jim. Yes,
Why
go
not
ahead.
retire? 87 years old. You've been doing this 50 years. Why not just join us at the AARP? We'll put you on the board. Come, get away from that smut. I'm here to recruit you to our elderly cult. Come with me. Run
First
quick,
off-
see.
I always say 87 years young is what I always say.
Old, young, it's age. All I'm saying is enjoy it while you can. That's the message from the AARP.
Listen, Jim, I was born on a football field, and I'll die on a football field. That's the way of the world.
And I in Elder Hostel.
It's the de France way.
Coach.
Yes.
Tim Timley's here from the Tim Sportscast on YouTube. You guys got some big match coming up here against the Detroit Lions, who are the league leaders, of course, in scoring and tackles and catches.
I'm a big fan of their catches. They've
They have some of the best catches. So
best catches in the league by a long shot.
what is the team going to be doing going forward, getting ready for this game? How do you think you guys are going to deal with their scoring and their catching and their tackles? What is your plan to deal with that and to come on with your first win?
Well, that's a complex plan with a complex answer. For the catches, ideally we want to stop them from catching it. Is really I think going to be our tactic going forward. And if their quarterback's anything like ours, he might point to where he's going. When he points, we'll just maybe run and tackle the guy he's pointing at. It's frankly what all the other teams have been doing to us, and it seems to be a great tactic. We will probably adopt that. There's nothing wrong with learning from your enemies.
And what about the all the tackles and the points?
Well, there's not a whole lot you can do about points. The tackles going forward, I have If I'm being blunt, a point's a point. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Sometimes points are gotten by your enemies, and it's just an unfortunate reality of life, you know. But hey, I'm not Socrates. As far as getting tackled, I've instructed all of
Coach.
the runners. I've instructed all of the runners to just run as fast as they can, rather than the medium speed they had been running to previously, and hopefully they don't get tackled. Yes. You curling his mustache in the back.
Yes, thank you. I prefer to keep my name undisclosed for fear of unmasking.
Understandable.
Coach, how did you celebrate Mother's Day?
I am not a mother, Chad, Tim, whatever your name was. I think you know that. I find that offensive.
All right, and that's certainly not the news we were expecting here from the Texas, I guess, sports team stadium now. But as of now, that's the news for the day. This news conference is still going on behind me, and we will of course pop back in if anything monumental again happens. But as of right now, it sounds like the F word is no more here in Texas. Back to you guys in the studio, Bob.
Boy, oh boy. You've seen things and you've been able to say things, and now you can't say things even though you see things. I don't know what this world's coming to. What do you think? Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's just a crazy thing that these guys just can't even say. We can't even say the word anymore. When's it gonna stop? I mean, that's just crazy. The word has been in my family's life for generations.
That's true. Not me, but I get it.
You always were a badminton man.
I'm a fan. I like to play more than I like to watch, but it's hard to get a group of adults to get together for a recreational game of full pads.
This is true. You and me talk about this off camera all the time, but no one ever wants to play with us.
That's true. That reminds me, we should get back to the news.
The news. It's a news day, of course. I can't concentrate with all this going on.
I got a sad story for the oldies out there. Because denture thefts are on the rise in Snakesville. So listen to your dentist and lock them up when you go to sleep.
That's right, Bob. According to a new report done by the New York Temperatures, old people's dentures are coming up missing, and they said definitely somebody stole it and came in through the window and stole it, and that's definitely what happened.
Some people are speculating that this is it's an old Mexican myth that people are confabulating with the dream, but I beg to differ. I've actually experienced something like this one time when I was in Acapulco in 1993.
This some sort of a tooth fairy type scenario you're talking about there, Bob?
Yeah, it is. It's it's a mouth fairy.
Hada de la boca.
It's a total mouth grab. Mouth grabber and Toto.
The Dentures Association of America says that the best place to lock up your dentures is, in fact, in your mouth. Just tape your mouth shut. And it also is good for you because it's good to breathe through your nose anyway. And it'll encourage people to nose breathe. And you're less likely to die of asphyxiation if you're a nose breather at night.
But there's 100% chance you will if you're a mouth breather. It's the statistics on that are undeniable and really.
All mouth breathers do die.
Yes, it's 100% mortality rate. Some nose breathers are still alive right now.
This is true, but all mouth breathers that are alive will be dead soon. So that's the difference.
Why don't we go to Craig T. Storm with the weather?
This is Craig T-Storm here with the weather. We got a big old cloud front just racing in through the sky right over town, and we got some lightning, and we got some thunder, and we got some lights, and we got some darks. It is just a wild and wacky day here in Snakesville. It is just motherfucking bananas. If you are outside, close your eyes and get into the house immediately. Dog house, human house. poorhouse, outhouse, whatever it is, get indoors. You do not want to be caught in this one. It is wild. Back to you.
And Craig, how does the weather look for the rest of the week there?
It's gonna be shitty. It is gonna be fucking crazy. I would not go outside at all the next week if possible. I know some of you have jobs. I know some of you have obligations, but I would sever those ties that require you to go outside, and I would just hole up inside, get a gun, and do not leave. That is my advice. My advice is the same for everybody. When Hillary Clinton walks into town, I'm gonna say lock that bitch up, not because of the emails, but because of the fucking weather. You just gotta be careful out there, and that's no joke. Not for Hillary, not for me, not for you. Not to you, Bop and Yuppie.
Thank you very much there, Craig. And, boy, that just sounds like a rough week. I guess we'll just be hunkering down here doing the news and never leaving, huh?
That's just the life of a news person in this woke age that we live in. Speaking of woke ages, we go now to a switchy news conference. Am I reading that right? Yep.
That is correct. It sounds like Hoop is back on with some live news from the Texas sports team stadium. Hoop, what do you have for us today there?
Yes, we had just moments ago had some interesting developments. We're going to go live to Coach Vance DeFrance as he continues to tirade.
I have, thank you all for gathering with me today. I have what I hope is good news in these dark times. Switchy will be staying on as the official mascot of the Texas sports team. Yes, thank you. I know, we're all very excited. It's great that in these dark times that we can have this ray of light that Switchy is, or I should say this barrage of flickering lights that Switchy is in these dark times. We have decided for rebranding purposes that he will now represent our frequent switching of names and identities and language that we use due to the tyrannical bigotry of the American left. He is now a celebration of our victimhood, and will forever remind people of the death of the name of the Texas executioners. He is now, though, not a celebratory figure as much as a somber reminder of this tragic series of events. And this dark time for wealthy white people like myself.
Coach.
Yes, you with the
Charles
eyeballs.
Schultz again. Peanut Gazette. Let me ask you a question.
Here we go.
Cedar Point or Great America?
Is this some kind of fucking joke? Cedar Point all the way. You got the Raptor, you got the big wooden one, Great America.
Coach.
Yes.
Have you even considered Superman at Great America? I mean, come on.
Oh.
What, do I look like a novice here? No. Superman's fine. Was it? We talking Tower of Power? Or are we talking the roller coastery one where you hang from it?
The roller coaster one where you hang from it.
Coach.
That's pretty good. Yes, you.
Have you considered maybe making Switchy a roller coaster switch?
Well, I was hoping to save this news for another conference, but yes, the Switchy roller coaster is currently in production at Cedar Point, not at Great America. Great America can go fuck itself.
All right, that sounds great.
Coach. Do you think other teams will have to follow suit and change their names like the Virginia Tiki Touchers or the Notre Dame White Saviors?
I don't see what could possibly be offensive about either of those team names, but you never know. People these days will really find they'll find offense in anything they can. A tiki torch is a delightful garden object, and what was the other one? The White Saviors. They're just
the
a great.
Notre Dame White Saviors.
Who doesn't want to be saved by a beautiful white person with the skin glowing in the sunlight? Garden gnomes, the traditional white saviors of folklore, just hobbling out of the woods to help you get loose from the bear trap or the punji sticks that you may have fallen into, or just to ward off angry raccoons that might attack you. They're just
If
The
you
white
can even
savior.
still say that.
Yes, I know. Raccoons all of a sudden get you kicked out of IHOP for no reason, Butch.
Juby Ding Dong from Fan Sports News, representing the fans only. Okay, fan poll recently showed that the fans are pretty pissed about this switch from Switchy, the electrocutioner switch, to Switchy, the non-existent plan, maybe a fake roller coaster switch plan that I don't even like as a fan. I'm not a newsman, but I do have a press badge. Now I want to ask you this. What's the plan with Switchy? What's happening to Switchy? I need to
Poopy,
know what
first,
you're going to do in the Switchy. Is Switchy okay? Is Switchy safe?
I want to say,
Switchy
Poopy,
scared.
I respect your
scared.
concern, and I'm a big fan of your OnlyFans website. I visit it daily. I think it's wonderful. Switchy is fine. He is resting currently. He is getting massaged from dick to toe. He's doing well. He will appreciate the rebranding. This has been a tough time for all of us, including Switchy, but when we come out on the other side, once Switchy has transitioned, he will emerge like a butterfly, a newly labeled butterfly.
Switchy was already a butterfly.
I think it's important
This is
to
a
allow.
protest.
I think it's important to allow people to transition, to have their own identities. It's not for us to say what Switchy is. Is Switchy a chair? Is he a abstract concept about us having to change our names constantly? That's not your decision. That's Switchy's. We need to live in a world of acceptance, not one of bigotry and hatred.
Coach.
Yes, you. With the bug eyes.
Just how much impact does who and what the mascot is have on the turnout of a professional football game?
I don't know that people show up to even watch the game. They show up for the guy in the stuffed suit that jumps around and cheers when we get a point, when we throw a ball good, or when we catch one good. And it's just, he brings joy to the masses. And frankly, it's probably the only reason we got a fucking single seat filled in that stadium. If he's gone, it's just a bunch of assholes throwing a ball around the field. I'm not really even sure what we're doing here,
Coach, speaking of good catches, good throws, and overall good coaching, can you talk about some of this preseason play you have lined up, and that these flea flickers, the reverse flea flicker that you did on the last drive was insane. Can you talk about that and the development? How long if you saw a scheme, was that planned or?
I don't like to give away secrets of the trade, but yes, that flea flicker and the reverse flea flicker that followed it, which is just, as you know, the same move except backwards, they are both just great, when you run out of bullets, but you realize you got that teeny little horse gun in your garter belt, and you shoot the guy right in the dick at the last minute. That's what those flea flicker moves are for me. They're the little old-timey Western prostitute gun that you just keep in your ankle holster or garter belt or whatever have you. Yeah, you say surprise, motherfucker. Yeah, you say 4-0 on the third down. 4-0 on the third down. Surprise, motherfucker. This slut's got slugs for you. Blam blam right in the dick. Both rounds. Yeah. Then I get my parasol and I walk back out onto Main Street. Regarding the rest of your question, I forgot what you asked, but...
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Big news day out of Texas. The F word is banned. Switchy is back. Although, will they be accepted? Who knows? Only time will tell. Back to you, Bop and Yuppie in the studio in Snakesville. This has been Hoop DeVille.
Wow, I don't even know. Yep, I don't even recognize the Texas sports team anymore. No electrocutioner Switchy.
It's just a
What
dog.
about the effects? They literally spent $2 billion taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, you can't just
getting
turn it on and
just
off the lights
just
in a
the
building that big.
visual effects up and that rigging that, and now they're doing nothing with it. A real life replica of a 1968 mint condition Executioner 730, 40 volt. Yeah, man, they didn't even have a third prong on it. That's how cool that thing was. You could just plug it in and just fucking kill people. How sweet is that? Now gone. What's this state coming to? Anyway, yep.
We gotta go to commercial, but when we come back, there's news about dogs, and you're just gonna want to hear it. But first, what's the deal with all those people that aren't speaking English everywhere? We'll tell you when we come back.
Guerrilla warfare of our minds. Alright, welcome back to Blab Rats, where you just heard a recording of a government experiment gone wrong? I don't know. You be the judge. What do you think, producer?
I mean, yeah, that's a wild one. There's obviously been a lot of social issues come to light in the sports world.
Yeah, like basketball, dribbling,
traveling.
Basketball invented traveling.
Flagrant fouls.
And before basketball, there was no traveling.
Yeah. So we have basketball, thankful traveling.
Yeah. The entire hospitality industry at large, really.
So, yeah, I mean, hotels wouldn't exist without professional sports. I think everyone knows that. They prop up the hotel industry and the fast food by the side of the road industry.
The first hotels in America were made strictly to support traveling sports teams. That's a known fact.
That's why the beds were always so big. It wasn't because it was like they was like made for big people.
It's called Super 8 because
those were regular sized beds.
There were only 8 original NFL teams, and it was called Motel 6 because there were only 6 original hockey teams, and that's where the players would stay when they traveled back in the good old days.
So, I mean, it's clear to see why the government would want to get their hands in the world of sports.
Absolutely. It's a cup from which many can drink.
Now, producer or host, what are some of your favorite historical sports conspiracies?
WNBA game fixing scandal, 1997-2001, well documented. Involves a lot of top players, a lot of top coaches, a lot of the top refs. The whole league fucking turned over after that and was bottom of the barrel because all the best players were wrapped up in this sports fixing scandal.
Yeah, and it overshadows.
Samara Tompkins, Kimmy Gibbler, Jami Beluku, Kimi Japu, and Harry Dududu.
And it overshadowed some of the best passing in the game.
Absolutely. These stars could pass. I mean, that's what some of the fixes were, over-unders on how many passes you would have in a game. And
so they were pass juicing.
They were pass juicing. Yeah, they were juking the pass stats.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and I know that hits close to home to you because your moms are both WNBA stars.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I had to think all they did it for was a couple boxes of Cliff Bars.
And again, this shows to you where social issues hit the sports world.
Yep.
Right? We saw that there, and we see that again and again in these current days.
You got a favorite sports conspiracy there, producer?
I like the very common run of the mill Super Bowl blackout conspiracy.
Oh, that is a good one.
And that is that it was a national treasure scenario, and
now,
that
we're talking the movie.
Well, the movie based on real events, clearly, but this was the guy that Nick Cage was method acting as is a real guy, and he there was a national treasure beneath the stadium that day, and he national treasured it, and that's what the blackout had nothing to do with basketball, or had nothing to do with football. I mean,
I've got contacts at the Super Bowl too, and I've heard the same thing, and I've also heard that in the movie National Treasure, you know Nicolas Cage's friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real guy. that he's method acting.
He's hiding
That's
in plain
the
sight.
real guy. Yeah, he's just hiding in plain sight, but he's playing someone else while Nicolas Cage plays him.
So he's a triple threat. He can.
He is. He
can
act, he
national
can dance, he can
treasure.
sing.
And
He's
he
Nash,
can-
Nash Treasure.
Nash. Today's Blab Rats episode sponsored by the Guardians Patriot Fund. Donate today at goguardians.com and receive 10% off your next donation.
Use code LOAD
Blab Rats.
for 10% off your next donation.
Podcast also sponsored by Nash Bridges, the complete 7 series set with Christmas special, being released
that
on
episode.
4K Blu-ray. The Christmas special finale is so good. I mean, they tied up all the serious
And
points.
don't forget to mention it comes with a set of Nash Bridges themed cutlery, and this stuff is so nice, and the handles have all Nash Bridges characters on them, and it's a beautiful set of knives, and that's why you should buy this.
Set. This DVD set, Blu-ray set. Yep.
This DVD Blu-ray.
It also comes with a special commentary on every episode by the guy in the beret. That actor does the commentary. So we all know and want to hear about that guy's opinions on Nash
Yeah,
Bridges.
and I've heard doesn't actually just talk about the episode. He kind of uses it as a forum because I think he's going to run for city council. And
so he kind of brings it all back to council-related issues in Rancho
Yes, yeah.
Cucamonga, where he lives.
yep, that's right.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Anyway, is that enough chit chat? Or should we talk more?
No, I think we're good. I think we just did some sponsors. You got any more sponsors there?
I got one more sponsor for you tonight. Sponsored tonight by Ice Cream Dogs, the only hot dog that you can buy in the ice cream aisle. Ice Cream Dogs, find them at your local grocery store today. And if they don't have them, say, hey, give me some of those ice cream dogs. And use code LOAD Big Blab for 25% off your next hot dog tips.
Hot dogs. Tips.
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 All right, that's all for us from here at Blab Rats. On behalf of producer, I'm host. Until next time, stay freaky and blab on. Blah, 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 blah.
blah 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 blah